Good morning, guys. Say hi, mama. You guys, Alea just barely woke up, but I was just in the bathroom doing my hair before she woke up because we do have a dentist appointment to go to for a baby girl. It's actually her first dentist appointment ever. I took the boys about 2 weeks ago to their appointment. They have no cavities. Yes, baby girl. Out. Hold on, let me change you, okay? You guys, it's so freaking bright. I forgot that I even have the light sometimes. I forget that I even have the setup. I love it so freaking much. This is how the setup looks. It looks super cute. Babe wants to get me like a border for the mirror because it's literally just on the wall and the lights are mounted onto the wall too. But I love it. I haven't put my makeup in there yet just because I ordered a bunch of little like organizers on Shein. This is the first time I'm gonna do my makeup on my vanity and I'm literally obsessed. Thank you, babe. I love you so much. I'll eat your booty later. But yeah, you guys, like I was saying, I'm going to take Leia to the dentist. This is going to be her first visit ever. Obviously, she still has all her baby teeth. We do brush her teeth every day, so I'm not too worried about her. I did take the boys 2 weeks ago, and I was a little worried, not going to lie, just because you already know kids, they like eating candy, sweets, all that stuff. And I don't brush their teeth for them anymore. They obviously do that on their own every single morning. It just felt really nice to know that they don't have cavities, that their teeth look really good. First I was gonna schedule all 3 kids, but then I was like, no, let me just do 2 and let me get the boys out of the way. I did take Alea with me that day to the appointment. You guys, we were there for 2 hours for just the boys, and Alea was like running around. She wasn't necessarily like acting up, she was just like being a baby, and we were there for over 2 hours. It was just a freaking drag, you guys. But now it's just gonna be me and baby girl. The boys are in school right now and it's Friday, so Nana and Elijah just went home today. I'm just really hoping this appointment doesn't take forever. I have her in the shower right here. As y'all can probably hear the water running, but she likes to stay in there for like a good 15 to 20 minutes, which is perfect because I can do my makeup in the meantime. We don't have a bathtub, you guys, so the water literally will just drain right away. And my door's open. I can literally see her for my hair, so don't freak out. She loves being in the water. Like, if I can leave her in there for hours, she would stay in there. You guys, I was really debating on doing my makeup right now just because it's 10 a.m. and I am gonna go to my cousin's house later. Little fun fact, you guys, if you know, you know. Anyone who has been supporting me or my sister within like the last year and a half may or may not know, we had like so many issues with our family, specifically like my dad's side. We have 2 cousins that we are super close with, and we've always been super close with. Me and Bree, we pretty much were like freaking sisters. We grew up together, like our whole childhood was with them. And they weren't just like cousins, you guys, like they lived with us like for years at a time when we were growing up. So we always known our childhood like being together. We have this one cousin, she actually lived in Florida for a lot of our childhood, but whenever she would come down to Vegas, like it would be me, Bree, our other 2 cousins, and then the one from Florida. And we were always all super close. Like whenever she would come down, it would be like we were freaking whole. What I'm trying to say, you guys, is we were all super close. Like we were pretty much like sisters growing up. I seen them like my sisters. We honestly had the best relationship and the best childhood growing up because we were all together. And there's nothing like growing up with your cousins and living with them at, you know, some point. And then for our case, it was like many years. So in 2020 to 2021, we had gotten really just separated, I want to say. My grandma's really sick again, and this was right before she passed. She was getting taken care of by one of the cousins that we grew up with and we're super close with, the older one. Well, it was pretty much both of them because they lived together and my grandma lived with them. So they were taking care of her, and honestly, thank God for them. We always knew that my grandma was taken care of. A lot of the times my grandma would come from Mexico, she would either be at my dad's house, which was like her main bedroom and where she had all her stuff in. And then when she had gotten really sick, my cousins kind of took over and my grandma moved in with them, and that's where she spent like the last 6 to 8 months of her life. I just want to give all the freaking thanks and credit to my cousins because they did take care of my grandma. They did everything that they could, and I'm sure it was so freaking stressful. I guess the only thing that I really do regret is not seeing my grandma as often, because I remember seeing her probably 2 times before she passed, and clearly that's not enough, which I completely know now that, you know, time has passed. But I feel like my cousins were very angry with the fact that like we weren't going over to help or to visit, which is completely understandable. And I'm not trying to make like my situation sound better, because obviously, yes, I did have my 2 boys and I was working 60 to 80 hours a week. Even though I was super busy, I should have made time for that. I should have prioritized, you know, my grandma and my family, because at the end of the day, that's what comes first. And I know that now, but I feel like at the time I was so busy with work. I was so busy with like raising my kids and bringing in money, because this is the first time that I was actually getting on my feet. I went through a really hard year. The whole year before that, to where I was struggling. I didn't know how I was going to feed my kids, and it was just really hard, you guys. At that time, my car like was almost getting repoed. I was fighting with my dad a lot. Like, there was just so much to my life that I hid, that nobody knew about. I just had so many things going on, and at this time my cousins were obviously taking care of my grandma. Only they knew the amount of things that they went through and did for my grandma, and honestly, I thank them from the bottom of my heart, because they did do so freaking much. So when my grandma had passed, my cousins were very angry at the fact that obviously my grandma was no longer here. They were really close to her like our whole childhood, but I feel like more because they lived with her the last months before she passed. And they were super angry at the fact that we didn't go see or help my grandma as much as we should have, which I completely understand now, you guys. Like, after time has passed, I see and understand things more. So with all of that like built up, we weren't involved, or nobody even told us that like my grandma had passed. Nobody wanted to give us information. Everybody wanted to like hold everything from us. They didn't want to tell us anything. Like, it was pretty much me and my sisters against the whole family, because the whole family was getting told not to tell us anything because we didn't go visit my grandma enough, which hurt really bad at the time, and it made us very angry, and us just like have this like hatred towards our cousins because we couldn't be involved with my grandma. Like, even though we didn't see her and visit her the last few months, like, we felt in our hearts that at the end of the day that was still our grandma, and it hurt us so freaking much. For those of you who know the story, are kind of like, oh my gosh, we've heard it before, but this is almost 2 years later, with a clear mind, a healed heart, and a lot of time that has passed. So back then we were just so angry. I feel like my cousins were very angry at us because we weren't there as much. We didn't help them, and by all means I completely get it now, but at the time we were also very angry because we were like, no, like, that's our grandma. At the end of the day, like, we weren't invited to the funeral. Like, our whole family went to Mexico together and we weren't invited. Like, we even reached out. At the end of the day, everyone was kind of just like, fuck you guys, like, no, you guys don't deserve shit, which built up so much anger, you guys, between me, my sisters, my cousins, just everybody. It was such a hard time, you guys. And my cousin from Florida, she was actually the middleman throughout everything. Like, she would always be like, you guys, like, this shouldn't be happening. Like, she was always trying to be like the peacemaker in a way, and we were always kind of like, no, fuck that, like, it's fucked up. And she obviously understood their side, she understood our side, but she always just tried to be like the middleman, and she never chose sides in a way. That was going down in 2021, and me, like, at the time in my life, I had gotten proposed to, I was getting married, I had gotten pregnant. Like, so many good things were happening in my life, but it was just so sad for me because like my family couldn't be a part of it. My dad wasn't a part of it. Like, this is the time where we didn't have a relationship with literally him or anybody on that side. So I just remember getting to a place that like I had hit rock bottom, I want to say like a year and a half ago, and I was just like, I just want peace in my life. Like, I genuinely just want peace. And I remember last year, it was around June 2023, my cousin, the one from Florida, she actually lives here now. For anybody who's a little confused, she lives here now. She's been here for a while, but she actually came over one random day. Like, we never show up unannounced, but one day my cousin just showed up at my house randomly, and she was like, hey, like, I was pretty much just called here to talk to you. She started talking to me about God, and I was just like, oh my God, like, I have literally fell off and just completely left my relationship with God alone for the last few years. And I was just very angry, and I just had so much like resentment in my heart. And I remember when she had came over, she was like, hey, like, you just need God in your life, like, please, cousin, and all this stuff. And for a long time I didn't pray anymore. I didn't seek God. I didn't have faith in him. Like, I was just in a really dark place that when she came over, I was like, wow, like I had been feeling like I needed to pray again. I had been feeling like I needed to rebuild that relationship with God. And it was just crazy because everything that I was going through, my cousin had no idea about. Like, I didn't tell her anything, but for some reason she was called to my house that night. And keep in mind, you guys, that morning I had a really, really bad panic attack. I had the worst panic attack I probably had till this day. And I was just crying, and I was just literally, I knew at that point that something had to change. So the fact that she came to my house that night, I know that it was nothing but God's plan to have her show up at my house that night and tell me everything that she did. We were probably in her Jeep outside my house for an hour or two. I can't really remember. But I literally just asked her, like, cousin, can you pray for me? Can you pray with me? We ended up doing a whole prayer in the car. And I told her, like, I really needed you to come here. And she was like, it's crazy because I felt the same. Like, something was drawing me to come here. We don't ever like show up unannounced. We don't ever do that unless it's like planned. So we just knew that it was God's way of saying, like, hey, you guys need to come together. My cousin came to my house for a reason that night. And from June, I just started to let God into my life a little bit more. In the beginning, you guys, I had no idea how to pray. I had no idea what I was doing when I was even trying to grow my relationship with God. I was very confused in the beginning, and it was just really freaking hard for me, you guys. And I would call my cousin all the time. That was in June, and in like July, August, I would have so many conversations with her and just talk with her about everything. I might be wrong on the months, you guys, but I want to say it was a couple months after that. It could have been like September, August, I don't really remember. But I remember one day she came over. After she left, I remember calling her and I'm like, cousin, I don't know why, but I have this feeling and thought. She was like, tell me. I was like, can you please call my cousins, which were the two cousins that we grew up with but then got into like that huge thing and fell out with. So I was like, can you please call them, tell them that I hope they're doing good and that I love them. And she was like, what, like, really, cousin? And I was like, yes. So keep in mind, you guys, my cousin, the older one, she actually reached out, I want to say like 8 or 9 months before that. She pretty much was trying to be on good terms again. And I want to say when she reached out, I was still kind of like, no, like there was still so much anger and hurt in me that I was like, didn't respond. Fast forward to like August, September, I had called my cousin and I was like, hey, can you just tell them that I love them? Like, something in my heart, I just want them to know that I love them. I hope they're doing good. Keep in mind, you guys, like my sisters had no idea that I was like feeling this way towards my cousins again, because even my sisters had a lot of like anger and just resentment towards them because of everything that we went through. They had no idea that I even had a thought in my brain of having a relationship with them again. But something in me just had to tell my cousin, like, hey, can you let them know I love them? I hope they're doing good. So she let them know, and right away my cousin called me back within like the hour, and she's like, hey, like, they told me they hope you're doing good, that, you know, they love you, and if you want to start hanging out soon, like they're open to it, like to pretty much rekindle, is that how you say, our relationship. And at this time I was still like, ooh, like I don't know, that might be too soon for me, but cousin, when I'm ready, I'll let you know. So months had passed, you guys. I want to say it was like November, December, and I was like, hey, like I'm really like missing my cousins. Keep in mind, you guys, these girls were literally like sisters to me growing up. So after a couple months of just healing and really growing my relationship with God, I was like, I need to just forget about the past, forget about everything that happened. I'm coming in with a clean heart. So yeah, my cousin ended up putting us into like a group chat, and we ended up making plans together. For a while our plans just kind of fell through because they were busy, we were busy, they got sick, we got sick, we just had a lot going on. And it was probably like 2 months in the making of us hanging out that finally a few weeks ago we hung out for the first time. And I hugged both of them just so freaking tight, and it felt so good in my heart, you guys, to just be able to see them again with like peace in my life, genuinely, because for so long I was kind of just cold. It like truly made me not want to have a relationship with anyone who I felt was just not good for me. And I just want to throw this out there too, like with my family, the only person that I really cared about having a relationship with again was my dad. And then eventually my two cousins came around, which was the next most important thing for me. There were so many adults and just grown ass people in our family that added fuel to the fire that we pretty much cut ties with the whole family. We weren't close with anybody anymore. after time had went on, me and my sisters were really just wanting that relationship with our dad again. And it was honestly such a beautiful thing, you guys, because we got to rekindle that relationship with our cousins as well. Everybody else honestly can stay where they're at. But honestly, you guys, I have no more ounce of like resentment or anger in me, that even the family members that I no longer talk to or no longer have a relationship with, I genuinely wish them a good life and I wish nothing bad about them. I can see them and not be so angry. For a long time, you guys, even my cousins, like anything that had to do with my dad's side of the family, my dad, even like anybody at all, I was just like unfollow, like at block. Like I didn't want to see anybody on social media that had to do with my dad and his side of the family, my cousins, anybody. And I want to say in like June or July, when I started to heal and feel better, that's when I was like, oh, like my cousin, which is the one that we talk to now, I was like, she got a car, and like for so long just seeing her face, hearing her voice would just make me so angry. And when I seen that she bought a car back in like June or July, I want to say, I was like, wow, I'm so proud of her. And that's when I knew, like within the months, that I no longer had like any of that type of resentment in my heart. When my cousin had came over that night, I was like, cousin, it's crazy because I seen you posted a picture of so-and-so, which was one of the cousins, and I was like, I didn't have that anger towards her anymore. Like I was actually truly happy. Like it was just crazy how everything worked out. Everybody else in the family, wish them nothing but the best. I just thank God for me finally fully having peace in my heart and not having nobody with bad energy, bad vibes. Anybody who's not meant to be is just out of my life, and I'm happy that way, girl. So yeah, my cousin that was pretty much like the peacemaker our whole freaking life, she actually invited us over to her house. Sorry if there's a bunch of noise. Alea's playing right here. But she actually invited us over to her house. We all hung out. And you guys, when I see my cousins for the first time, it just felt so freaking good to hug them, to laugh with them, to talk with them. And my cousin is expecting a baby boy, and it just feels really good to have our family together on some good terms without any type of like animosity or resentment or just any of that negative shit. Because let me tell you guys, the devil works 24/7, and if you're not close with God, or if you don't have any type of like peace in your heart, the devil will freaking attack. And that was a few weeks ago, you guys. We ended up all staying at her house super late. I think I got home around like 11 if I'm not mistaken. But it was such a good time, definitely much needed. I know that God has been working so freaking hard in our family and in our circle, because we have came such a long way, and I just can't wait to see what the future holds. Just being able to be around each other more and make more memories. I just feel really happy, you guys. Tonight we're going to be going again, and we're going to be having a little girls night, movie night, pizza night, snack night, and it's just going to be fun, you guys. I feel really happy. I am super thankful for Nicole always being level-headed, always being grounded, and having some type of freaking sense in her brain. I thank her for coming to my house that night and just everything that's happened. I know she always says like, girl, it wasn't me, it was God. But at the end of the day, I really thank her from the bottom of my heart, because even if me and my cousins weren't close again how we were before, I genuinely feel like the amount of peace that my cousin has brought me by bringing God into my life again, or guiding me to the right path with God, has just been so freaking amazing. And you guys, I'm just gonna throw this out there, like in June when my cousin had came over and I had came inside and I was like, babe, like we need God in our life. Like right away I'm like, babe, like I need to start praying again, like I need a relationship with God again. And he was just like, babe, like where is this all coming from? We ended up arguing that night because I'm like, you don't understand, like I need it. And he was like, okay, well you could do whatever you want. But I was like, no, I need you to need it with me. And he was like, no. He's never really had a relationship with God like that. So for me to like kind of throw it at him, he was kind of taken back and was like, where's all this coming from? Like, why are you expecting me to just be a certain way and then change up like the next day for you? Like that's not gonna work. And so we got into a really big argument, and I was like, you know what, if I want this for myself and for my marriage and for my family, then I have to show. So I've been praying, you guys, for months. I've literally been trying to strengthen my relationship with God every single day since then. No, I'm not perfect. No, I don't read the Bible every day. Yes, I try. Yes, I pray. You guys, there was one time I was even praying and asking God like, hey, if this man is for me, please show him the way. Show him that you need to be in a relationship for our marriage and for our family, and please show me if my husband is for me or not. Like, if he's not, remove him. And only I knew this, you guys. Like, my husband still doesn't even know, like, till this day, that I would pray to God, like if this man is for me, then let my husband allow you into his life, and if not, remove this man from my life, God. Like, I was literally praying that way for months. It's crazy to say, you guys, but my husband actually seen me having a super hard day, I want to say a couple weeks ago. And he told me, he was like, babe, if I need to allow God into my life more, if I need to pray with you more, whatever we have to do, like, we're gonna get through everything together. Like, I'll do anything for you. Like, if we need to do this and that, like, I'll do it. And it just felt so freaking crazy for me, because that's what I've been wanting for so long. But like I said, I had to show him. And just everything that we've been going through the last few months, all I want to say is that God has really been working within our family and within my marriage, and I'm super grateful, because that night my husband actually prayed with me. He is the one who took the initiative without me asking, without me saying anything. So I just felt so much peace and love in my heart. And a couple days after that, like, he did it again, and then I was able to do it. And it just takes time, you guys. If you're in a position to where you feel very uncomfortable and you just don't know where to start with praying, start with getting right with God, and everything else will follow, you guys. I didn't mean for this whole thing to turn into like such a long conversation, but I feel like I just needed to get this off my chest. I was gonna do a whole TikTok like getting ready right now, but I was like, girl, this is gonna take way too long. I've been yapping. I need to finish baby girl in the shower. She's been playing for over like 25 minutes, so I'm gonna get her showered and ready to go. You guys, look how beautiful my baby is. You guys, her hair's getting a little bit longer. Very little, huh, mama? Wanna go bye-bye? Yeah. You ready to go to the dentist? Yeah? Okay. Let's put your shoes on. No. Say, oh no. No. Okay, guys, I am ready. I literally just threw on some jeans and then a t-shirt. Putting on my perfume that my sister just bought me. You guys, it smells so freaking good. It's Victoria's Secret, the Bombshell Seduction one. Her appointment's in like the next 15 minutes, but we're about 2 minutes away. So I just have to put my shoes on, pack up my bag, and let's get the show on the motherfucking road. She's actually likes it a lot. I love you. I don't have gas. Thanks for not putting gas in my truck.
Oh, baby. I'm sorry, baby.
It's currently at 10:57 and I'm literally only 2 minutes away, so I'm playing with fire, but I think I'll make it to the appointment and then I'll just pump gas after. You're on your iPad. Say shh. Okay, guys, we are done. We were in there for less than 30 minutes. It was super fast, but it's currently 11:22. We were in and out, thank God. I need to hurry up and go pump gas because my light has been on since yesterday after I got Nana and Elijah from school. I just got a message from Evan's teacher. It's always that one kid, y'all. Okay, you guys, it is currently 5:08 right now, but as you guys can see, we have the little gremlins. My sister actually dropped off Camila and Emilio. There's my baby girl. Evan's chilling with me, Emilio, Chubbs. It's actually Friday and my sister has errands to run. As you guys know, Alea goes to spend some time with my mom on the weekend, and she didn't go for 2 weeks just because my mom got sick, Alea was sick, and it was just not the vibe. But my mom's feeling better. We were actually texting yesterday and my mom told me, she was like, by the way, have the baby at my house tomorrow, Mija, around 6:30. Pack her jammies so she can stay until Sunday a.m., please. My mom wants her to stay a whole freaking day and a half, and she hasn't seen her in about 2 weeks. So I'm a little sad baby girl's gonna be there all weekend. But this mama can definitely use a little break, a little date night, and that's what we're gonna do this weekend. My sister was gonna go drop off her kids with my mom too, but she didn't have time, so she was like, hey, can my kids just come with Alea? My husband is actually gonna take all the kids to my mom when he gets home later because we are gonna have a cousin night. Bree's actually gonna be on her way in the next like 30 minutes. But right before my sister came, I was literally cleaning my whole house. I was sweeping, mopping, cleaning counters, doing laundry, just doing everything. And my house feels really good. And it's just time to relax and have a good freaking weekend.
Mom,
Huh?
this is how
You want this one? Yeah?
This is how I look outside.
You snap it?
Yeah.
Yes, baby.
We have to go to grandma.
I know. You're gonna go to grandma's. Okay, go sit down with it and don't make a mess, okay? Go ahead, go to the table.
Can I have some more?
You want to this one or the cookies and cream?
Let me see. I put some of that.
This one? Put the strawberries away, please. You want ice cream, Mama? Oh, bless you. Cookies and cream?
Mom.
You're welcome.
How old were you when you were pregnant with Chubbs?
19. You're welcome, baby.
I was out the belly at 16.
You were out the belly at 16.
Dang.
Okay, you guys, it's currently 6:46 right now. My husband came, my sister's here. I just showered and freshened up. But all the kids are actually gonna go spend the night with my mom, Evan, Chubbs, Camila, and Emilio. And me and sister are gonna go to our cousin's house and have girly time. Babe does have softball games, so he's gonna take the kids. We're going to my cousin's house, and we're gonna have a good motherfucking night. Truck loaded with all them kids. Bye, love you guys.
Evan and Leia stuff is also up
Let me hug you.
Love you, baby.
Bye, Mommy.
Love you more.
I'll see you tomorrow because I'm gonna go to grandma's.
Bye, Mama. You have everything? Bye. Okay, you guys, we are here. We actually just got to my cousin's. It is 7:16, but we are gonna enjoy some family time, cousin time. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next vlog. Bye. Bye.